we're at a point now where we might want to step back a little bit and ask for Christianity the 4 questions that we talked about at the very first topic of this class. And if you remember, the 4 questions are as follows. What is the structure of time? Can humans predict the future? Can humans control the future? And do humans experience time externally, internally, or both? So Christians will agree on some of these questions, or the answers to some of them, and they'll disagree on others. The first question, I think almost all Christians would generally agree that the structure of time is linear. It begins in the beginning. We might have disagreements about when that beginning is, but then it moves on through Christ coming to earth, and then finally to the apocalypse, to the end of the world when Christ comes back. And that's a linear idea. We go from the past through the present into the future. Relating to predicting the future, that one's tougher. That's a thornier question for Christians. Some people, I think most Christians would say, can tell the future if they receive some sort of wisdom from God. That's one way to think about what a prophet is. A prophet explains the present time and can foretell the future. But when it comes to our own lives, it's a little bit more difficult, because some Christians would say we are either predestined to end up in heaven, or we are predestined to be damned in hell. And what we do ultimately is not going to change that. It's up to God. It's God's decision. So we know in some way if we are going to heaven or going to hell because we have been saved and we're aware of that. Other Christians, however, would say, nope, we don't really know. We don't know until the moment of our death, when we move from inside of time to outside of time. Then we know what's happening, but by then it's too late. So for those people, they would say, we don't really know. We can't really predict the future. Interestingly, though, when you think about controlling the future, things turn around the other way. Christians who believe that they cannot predict the future tend to believe that they have a little more control. They can help out their own future. They can do things that will help them towards a life eternal in heaven rather than damnation in hell. But those Christians who believe that things are predetermined generally say, no, we have no control. This is all up to God. God does it, and we either get to go to heaven or we don't go to heaven and we go to hell. So controlling the future is another one where Christians don't completely agree. But when we get to the idea of the 4th question, experiencing time externally, internally, or both, I think Christians generally would again agree that on earth, time is an external thing. It's chronological, it happens to us, and we don't control it. But when we die, we either go to heaven or hell, and when that happens, time is then irrelevant, because we are in a timeless place of heaven or hell, and then time just doesn't make sense. You couldn't even ask that question.